If you are dating someone and they say something to you like, hey, it's your job to keep them happy, or it is your responsibility to make them happy, this is a huge red flag. I mean, it is a huge one. Because unless you are a entertainment, or unless you are in the hospitality business, it is not your job to show up, do tricks, entertain people, and to continually keep them happy. Because even if you are in the entertainment business, let's say you are a stand-up comedian, when the people come to your show, they are only in there for maybe an hour or two. Oh, and by the way, they pay for this. They sit there, they laugh if the show is good, and they go home. That's just an hour or two. And he got paid well, hopefully. But he is not trying to keep you happy 24/7. No. And we're going to take this to a nice, brand new housing community. I know someone purchased a beautiful home in a gated community for his lady. Now, this house was nice. And I asked him, I said, hey, how you folks like the house? And his response was, she's a little upset because she don't like how the sun rises and sets on the house. I'm like, huh? He said, well, you know, the sun come through this window and she wanted to come through that window, and the backyard is a little bit sunny in the evenings. I'm like, oh, okay. And when I tell you this was a beautiful neighborhood, this was a beautiful house, but this folks was upset. Now, there were houses across the street that were facing a different direction. And she was like, oh, he was telling me, she wanted him to sell that house and buy one right across the street. Brand new housing development. So I'm thinking to myself, considering you paid for this house, that's some frackinackle bullshit. Let me tell you, about a year later, he sold the house, bought the house across the street. You know, the sun, it was shady in the evening in the backyard. It was shady in the evening. So a couple months later, I asked him. I said, I'm curious now, is your folks happy? You should have saw the hurt look on that dude's face. She still wasn't happy. All this happened in a span of like 2 years. Well, one brand new house, the sun didn't hit it right. Sold it. Bought another brand new house directly across the street, facing in a different direction. Still not happy. If you are dating somebody or you are friends with somebody and they have not figured out how to keep themselves happy or how to be in a pleasant mood, or if they just angry all the time, it is an impossible task for you to make somebody happy if they just are miserable to the core. You can't do it. We're going to take this to people. Think to yourself about the people you know who seem to be happy. Most happy people, or most people that's enjoying life, when you run into them, they have a pleasant demeanor about themselves. Y'all see each other, they got a nice smile on their face. But they always seem to be like that, unless somebody is picking on them, or unless something go wrong, because we all have issues here and there. But genuinely happy people are just happy. But that happiness comes from within. It's not like you run across this person and they happy because a stranger just walked up to them and gave them a couple $100. Yes, that would make anybody happy. You see me walking down the street or somewhere and you decide, hey, I'm going to give a stranger a couple $100. Yes, that would make anybody's day. But back to the point. People who are genuinely happy, that happiness comes from within. And back to my main point. You dating somebody and they telling you it's your job to make them happy or to keep them happy, that's a red flag. Yes, it's your job to maintain and do the things that you said or you would do when you met this person. It's your job to be a person of your word. It's your job to maintain things on a certain level. But if you got a miserable individual in your life, don't be like that guy that done bought 2 brand new houses and still looking at somebody with a scowl on their face. Because a gift, that's only temporary happiness. Just like buying a new car. When you first get it, super happy. 6 months later, you realize, holy shit. Especially if the car no big as I don't know what. Especially if you bought something you can't afford. 6 months later, you might be hoping somebody steal that thing so that you ain't got that car payment no more. It's just not your job to be jumping through hoops. It's not your job to be playing circus clown. And even if you are a comedian or even if you're in the hospitality business, at least after you finish dealing with them peoples, you getting paid. You getting a tip. And those people that are paying you to keep them happy, they, again, what? Leave. You walk away with your money and you go on about your business. So if a person ain't figured out how to make themselves healthy, oh well, it's not your job. Look at y'all. My name is Daryl. Daryl Moore. Check out my book, Payback. Peace, love, happiness. I'm out.